Hello and welcome to another episode of Eat, Smoke, Drink, Coffee Edition. Today I am reviewing something fucked up. Okay, well, I don't know if it's fucked up. I'm relatively new to the coffee scene, as you know. It is just like any other Epicurean journey where you try everything, you go balls deep, and you try to explore all the different shit you can find. So the name Jairo Arcila from Colombia would be not a new name on my channel. Actually, Jairo Arcila is quickly becoming my favorite innovator, microplot grower, producer of coffee. He's just fucking awesome, okay? Or she, or they, I don't fucking know. But this one here is by Vanguard Roastery here in New Zealand. And obviously they just roast it, they get the beans. But this is the process for this is called the Mandarin honey. So it's a honey process, but at some point in its life, it has been fermented with ripe mandarin. I mean, so they must have had like a spare crop of mandarin, put it with the coffee beans and fermented it with that. So it is friggin' weird. So let me just take you through it and my impressions of it. So once again, this is the variety is Castillo. It's 1500 meters above sea level by Jairo Arcila. Mandarin. It is called Mandarin and honey process. So first, let's look at the beans. Very, very light roast on the beans. Okay, very, very light roast, light brown. Very, very light brown. Okay, so the beans look very rustic, lots of different sizes. Once again, with these single origin coffees, they probably pick them hand-picked on the ripest, which means they don't care if the berry is small or big. It is just the ripest berries, not like machine where they harvest everything indiscriminately. Let's get sniffing on the beans. Okay, the beans straight away gets you a slightly funky, dank, cellar smell, but you cannot escape. You cannot escape the orange. You cannot escape the mandarin citrus smell. It smells a little bit like when a mandarin is close to the end of its life and it's starting to get all rotty on the skin. That smell, the oils are starting to emulsify, starting to rot. Then you've got yourself some earth, some hay, cream, spices like, what spices am I getting? Some white pepper, some cinnamon, but you cannot escape that orange, that citrus. It's a sparkling duet, which is like a citrusy fizzy drink here in New Zealand. Fanta, you know, Fanta and Mandarin. That is on point. I can smell that heavily. I can smell a vegetal nature to it, a slightly herbal nature to it, a slight oiliness to it, but it's more of like a dry wooden linen cupboard with a dustiness, a funkiness. Old paper, old newspaper, you know, like old newspaper that's kind of been like moistened and dried. But you cannot escape the orange. It's dried orange peel, it's orange, it's mandarin, which is the same as an orange smell. You just can't escape it. But the question is, will it translate to the brew? I suspected on the nose it is just dominant orange. I can't smell anything else much but orange and coffee. It's like getting coffee and putting some Fanta in there. Yeah, it is just friggin' weird. It reminds me of that bowl of mung bean dessert that you get in Chinese restaurants where they have the mung bean, that earthiness, and then they put the orange peel to give it some flavor. When I was little, I used to love it, and now I'm older, I realize I don't actually love it. I just love the fact that it's free. It's the Chinese way, right? Sorry, I digress. Back to the coffee. It is basically a great bean, great roast level, but they fucked it up with a mandarin. But I know what they're trying to do. I'm not criticizing that because they're trying to innovate. But God knows why you would put a bunch of mandarins to ferment with coffee, but I like innovation, so please keep doing it. I think it's great, but it is not for me. I'm gonna call it is a no for me. Even the taste is like someone taking a coffee, putting some Fanta in there, and it's just wrong. I don't like it. It is not for me. I'm glad I've tried it, one and done. I don't think I'm gonna get any more of this weird stuff that they make. I'm lying, I probably will, because it's interesting to try. Because we split it in 3 anyway, so I only get like maybe 10 serves per bag. So it's not like, you know, it lasts me forever. But the smell, the taste, it is a no for me. I'm gonna call it now. It's not my jam. The backbone of the coffee is there, it's great, but man, the Mandarin just overwhelms. And I'm a purist when it comes to my whiskey and coffee, and now I understand when my wife says don't put ginger in the lasagna because, you know, it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. I get it now. Don't put ginger in the fucking lasagna. But it's a no for me. Nah. Until next time, make sure you eat, smoke, drink, and caffeinate. Cheers.